Hi, everyone. Welcome to the BNI Partners In Excellence show. I'm Andy, and today I have our very own Aaron Parada with us from 360 BKS Bookkeeping Services. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Andy. I'm pretty excited to be here.
How you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. I'm very happy to be here. This is the first time doing this, so I was pretty nervous at the beginning, but now it's like, no, I think I have to chill back a little bit and just to enjoy the moment.
Yeah, long on-ramp to get on.
Yeah.
What was making you nervous?
Because,
like, why is that the first question?
yeah, it's like, can I get a script of what I want to do?
What am I supposed to say?
I don't know, because I've seen like a lot of videos in social media, and they're pretty professional. And since this is the first time doing this, I don't want to screw these things up or do something odd or just to not do it correctly. But I mean, after watching a lot of videos, it's like, hey, every story is unique, and I don't feel to be embarrassed of what I have to tell.
So you watch a lot of podcasts then? Or I mean, you've seen some like professional looking shows?
Yes, a few podcasts, or just in social media, like when they're talking about certain topics or economics or technology or something is going on right now. Is like I see those type of videos, and it's pretty interesting, like how professional they look.
Well, no, I'm nervous. I hope this looks good because you've been watching stuff and that made you nervous, and now I'm nervous that you've watched stuff. I'm gonna have to like meet that standard. I'm gonna have to meet your watch standard.
I've watched your work and it's pretty amazing.
What do I give this back to you and you're like, I'm not gonna watch this. do not share. Is there a do not share button? They have a share button. There's a do not share button. Well, I'm so glad that this is your first like kind of like informal, not really formal kind of podcast show talk, right?
Yeah, it's the first
awesome.
time.
Okay, well, what are you hoping to get out of this show then? Let's just talk about that right away. What are you hoping that this is like?
Well, just to get to know, so just get to know me. The people can get to know me a little bit more because they just have like this idea of a bookkeeper, but there's something else more about this person. It's just not a person working behind the computer and working out the numbers.
When did you get your first calculator? How old were you? When I was 6, I got my first calculator for Christmas. Okay, well, that's what I want too. I want people to get to know a little bit more about you. And as you've probably seen by this time in the show, like, so many of our members have come through and, something just comes up and we end up going down this like trail of thought and conversation and some amazing things that come out of these. So I'm really glad that you're here today. And I'm excited about this. I've really enjoyed my time doing this with everyone. So thank you for being here. Let's talk currently about like kind of where you guys are at. Let's talk about your business, your company, what you're doing. I also want to talk a little bit about like, what are you looking for? Like what's something you don't have that you want? I'll cover all these, but this is the summary.
Like the overview.
Yeah, the overview. Kind of like a P&L. Hey-o. Right away with the accounting talk. Okay. So let's talk about like what is it you're currently offering to the public? What is it you're doing? And what are some of like the things that you're really like, kind of proud of that you're offering and helping companies with?
Sure. Well, we provide bookkeeping services, and the meaning of that is like we prepare financial statements for businesses, corporations, and get to gather all the numbers so the people can know how much money are they earning and how much money are they losing. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes a lot of small business owners, they just run things ongoing without having someone to do this for them. And they don't have like the expertise, the knowledge, the tools to have these put together correctly and accurately. So we help business owners so they can focus on their daily operations, their management and admin work, and we can take over all the financial data and all the financial work for them.
So what's something that's been really rewarding for you in that kind of position among companies and businesses? What's rewarding for you in doing that?
To help people, to help business owners, because most of the time they just run things day by day, and they don't even have a track of how much budget they have to allocate in order to have a successful business. So something that I'm very proud of myself is that I'm very organized and I'm very detail oriented. So when you work with numbers, you have to be in the details. The IRS is in the details.
I was going to say the Overwatch is in the details.
Yeah, right. So put together all these numbers for me is very rewarding, so they can see what they're actually doing and how we can advise them to have a better financial situation. If they have an opportunity to reduce costs, if they have an opportunity to grow their business by investments, capital investments, having more to expand their equity of their business. So putting all these tools together, it would be very rewarding for us because it helps people, and they're very happy because there's something that they haven't had in the past, and they're very happy that now they have this.
You're so diplomatic about it, because when you're talking about this, my mind keeps going, oh, so he helps disorganized people get organized.
Kind of. Huh. Not all of the times, but most of the times.
Do I know anyone who needs that kind of help? And no, I'm not. I certainly don't mean that as an insult to any clientele, but I'm sure that you come into a situation where it is kind of that, where they can, I'll say it my way, like, kind of afford to just come in and out of the office every day and go, yeah, well, everything's fine because we have enough cash. So I'm not really like detail looking at it because there's just money there every week and every month and every quarter. So, well, what's the purpose and the benefit? There's got to be a point though where they go, hold on, I need help. Or maybe it's because they got not getting themselves in trouble, but like not legally, but maybe they are wondering, where is the money going? And they actually don't know. And their eyes kind of off over here looking at the business and the sales and the marketing and the promotion and the growth, and then not on the numbers and all that. So What are some of the circumstances that lead people to you?
That's a really good question, because a lot of business owners, they don't have like a profit and loss statement or a balance sheet, and they just think that the fact that they have money in the bank is like, oh, they're doing fine. But the fact that they have money in the bank, it doesn't mean that that money is 100% disposed for them. For instance, if they're a corporation, a corporation is a separate entity, and doesn't mean that even though they are the owners, the shareholders of that business, it doesn't mean that they can dispose all of that money for them. So they have to. There's a certain rules they need to follow, and that's something that we help them out because we have the expertise and we can follow all those so they can track those guidelines correctly. So, for instance, if they have $30,000 in the bank, but those $30,000 in the bank, it doesn't mean that is the profit of it and they can dispose of it. They also can have liabilities, or they have sales tax to pay. They have vendors to pay. They have some security deposits that they have the money in there, but it's a liability at the end. And they have to put this money on the side so they don't spend it. And the fact that, I have $30,000 in the bank,
but you don't.
Yeah, it's not yours. So
you have 10,
right? Or you have none,
or no. I'll try to be a little generous. Yeah, maybe it looks like 30. Yeah, snapshot in time says 30. Like, you're broke. I get that.
Yes. So when that time comes, it's really frustrating for business owners because when they do their taxes, they're like, hey, why do you have to pay a lot of taxes? What happened? I had money in the bank. I thought I was doing everything correctly. No, because when we do the profit and loss statement and balance sheet, we can tell you, okay, this was the actual money that you had available for yourself. The other things you have to put it on the side for the liabilities, the taxes, wages you had to pay, the bills for the vendors to pay. So there's a lot of things and factors that we count in, and they don't have like all that things on their mind or on their radar. So
you're listing like a lot of things. So circumstantially, that maybe they haven't actually been doing any of those things, but they need to. So what would, other than not having it done, what is like a cause that they would end up with you guys? Like, how is it because someone says to them like, hey, I love you, and I really need you to go get your books clean. Like, how's that conversation go sometimes with people?
Most of the times is because of their tax accountants. When they do their taxes and this is your final result. This is why you needed someone to help you at the beginning.
I'm going to text you a number right now. You should call him today.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, but fortunately for us, most of the time that happens. It's like because they had a lot of taxes paid in the prior year, or their business expanded a lot and they were doing this by themselves, or someone in-house by doing it, and it's like they need to run with someone professional rather than they do it by themselves, or rather not do it and leaving at the end of the year.
Yeah. I mean, because it kind of sounds, and you're not saying this again, my words, not your words. It's like, it kind of sounds like failure to do this is going to create some sort of problem somewhere. And once that problem raises its head, you go, and maybe it not be the only problem. Like it's kind of like the whack-a-mole game. Like maybe this one kind of reveals its head and you go, oh shoot. And then you look under the surface and like, oh, there's actually a lot of other stuff going on. I mean, just a minute ago, you're rattling off all of these different things that are affected by having, order in your books or not. Taxes is one of them.
Yes,
making sure you're paying yourself right. You're talking about liabilities. You're even talking about maybe like earnest money deposits that you've held for people, not earnest money deposits. What's the word?
Deposit funds.
Yeah, like not a down payment. What's it called? Like you rent something and you give them
a security deposit.
A security deposit. Thank you. I know words. No, Aaron knows words. Security deposit. Yeah. So if you don't like qualify or kind of like categorize those things you can categorize them in your mind, but if they're not like set aside, like that's gonna come back and punch you.
Yes, exactly. Or also when they are doing it by themselves and they have like this knowledge of categorizing things by the items that they think they are, but at the end when they do their taxes, and they work with their tax accountant, it's like, hey, this expenses are misclassified. Actually, it's not an expense; it's an asset or it's a liability. It's other things that put into together, and that causes a problem at the end for them.
Yeah, that can cause tax problems, right? Because if it's misclassified as an asset versus liability, that could ultimately change what your taxable liabilities are.
Exactly.
Right? So doesn't that just that on its surface materially changes that?
Right. And that's something that we encourage clients to do with someone professional that has accounting knowledge, so they can know that their books are accurate enough so the tax accountant can prepare and file the tax correctly. Because if not, if an audit comes out or a revision or something, it's like it could cause a lot of problems later on.
You said the A word. You said audit. You said the audit word. So it's not. So what I'm getting is from you is it's not enough to just have a calculator.
No,
no,
it's not enough. Not even a spreadsheet.
You know what's so cool? Spreadsheets are calculators. Isn't that nuts?
I know.
It's amazing. They're like calculators. It's basically like all of math dumped into a software. It's amazing. You do like physics on that, I think. I don't know. I'm just saying stuff now. We'll have to check with Andrew Plummer, someone smarter than me. Can we do physics on Excel? No? Okay, let us know in the comments, Andrew. So CPAs, tax preparers, they give you a lot of business because they see something.
Right.
Are there other sources that are maybe lesser known or maybe less obvious? You go, oh yeah, this is a great referral source for us that maybe doesn't seem like it would be so on the surface.
I would say attorneys. Attorneys are really good referrals because a lot of the times they have a business attorney or family attorneys that they encourage their clients to have their financial statements and they don't have it because of different topics, or bankruptcy attorneys as well, and they need a help of a bookkeeper so they can have their financial statements in place. They have a profit and loss so they can know the money they have earned or lost, and with that they can move forward working with their clients, and those are really good referral partners for us because our attorneys and accountants, they're pretty close and they work together. So obviously that is a very good referral source for us.
Okay, so attorneys. Are there others that maybe you want but you don't have yet? That like, oh, that would be great if we had a carpet cleaner. I don't know. That's just a random one that popped in my mind. Like, the carpet cleaner is a great resource for referral. I don't know what that might be. Is there one that maybe you don't have that you're looking for still that, us in the group or people who are watching this might be able to supply you with?
Doctors are pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, because doctors they just focus on and attending patients and doing all their daily operation stuff at their clinics. And with that, they don't sometimes have someone in-house to prepare the financial statements for them. And that would be a very good referral for us because we can help them in order to have their financial statements in place, and they can do what they're good in doing.
Yeah, basically do the thing they went to 25 years of school for.
Yeah.
All those degrees for, which they help keep us all healthy. Thank you, doctors. So doctors. So, and that could be any range of doctors, right?
Any type of doctors.
Okay.
They have their own clinic and they don't have a bookkeeper, or they have someone and they want to have like a second opinion of it, or they want to work with someone different. That would be a very good referral for us.
Yeah, like my mind's turning because I'm like, oh, okay, so like even a dentist and orthodontist.
Right.
I'm like, oh, an optometrist might be a good referral source. Then I was like, oh, the vet, because they see patients too. I mean, do you have any veterinary patients right now?
No, and that would be pretty cool.
Veterinary clients?
I don't have, and I am a dog lover, so it would be very cool to have a vet as a client.
New goal, new public goal. We got to get Aaron a veterinary client so you can do the books and then have your dog care taken care of. That would be awesome. That's got to be. Is it weird for people to be like, oh, so now he knows I make millions of dollars? What do we do now? Is that weird? Do people ever say that to you? Like,
but
like without saying names, do people be like, it's kind of weird that you know how much our company makes? Do they care or not care?
No, I think they're pretty comfortable.
Are they proud? Like, he knows I make $10 million.
I haven't had to that point, and hopefully I don't have any experience in the future. But I think people are, they know that we work with confidential information, and they need to be confident that we're going to be ethical about it, and just to be very respectful about not sharing this information with anyone, because we have our ethical professional. So that it hasn't happened to us, but it's very common that we work with this type of confidential information. So I think it's in their loop, in their mind, that it's okay for my accountant that they need to know how much money I earn.
Trust inherently built into the like. I expect you to be trustworthy. I mean, I expect you to keep a lid on it. Don't you go on a podcast and start talking about how much money I make?
No.
So, Aaron, who's your richest client? No, I'm just kidding. right to the question. Well, let's talk about where's the future for 360 BKS? Where are you going? What is it you're going to need to get there? What is on the horizon for you? I mean, okay, so by the time this is out, it's kind of the end of quarter 4. We're coming too quickly here. We're careening towards the end of the year. Mm-hmm. What does the 2025 look like? Have you looked at 26? What's on the horizon for you?
It's been 2024 was a pretty good year, and we expanded a lot. We gained a lot of new clients, and we are looking forward for 2025. At the fourth quarter, it's always a slow season for us, because that's the time that the tax extensions is done. A lot of people take time off. The holidays are coming in, so it slows down a little bit. But for us, fortunately, this last 2 years, it's been growing this low season, because people is like, they have coming with us and telling us that, hey, last year I didn't have my books clean and I have everything organized, and I don't want to make the same mistake. So that's why the fourth quarter is very crucial for clients, because it's the last season of the year where they can do things correctly, where they can potentially have more tax deductions, have more business deductions, and have a strategy along with their tax accountant. So it is a good time for the year to have everything organized and cleaned. And we are looking forward for the next year to have more clients. But now it's crucial to gain this type of clients during the fourth quarter, so we can help them out in the next year and to expand even more.
Well, so what's interesting in you answering the question that way is you're also giving me a lot of details. If I'm trying to like paint a client profile or a perfect client profile, it is someone who's being proactive. They're asking the right questions, or even just maybe they don't even know if they're asking the right or wrong question, but they're asking questions and they're preparing themselves for the new year. That sounds like those are some ideal qualifications for you when it comes to like who's the best client.
Yes, definitely, because most of the time clients, they leave everything at last minute, and when
what are you talking about?
And by that time the year has been already closed. It's like nothing you can do about it. Yeah. So
the bank statement is printed. You can't go back and like make a revision. It's got the
exactly. So this time of the year is really good for clients to have this change of mindset. It's like, okay, I've been doing this type of behavior in the past years, and I want to change it. I want to have a very successful business, and I don't want to pay that much of taxes. So having that type of clients is more beneficial for us, because it could align with our core values, and we can create a stronger relationship with them, and not just doing their books and they're not getting the feedback that we're giving to them, and they're not willing to do these small changes, but in order to have benefit for them.
Yeah, so like the value add is really what that's kind of what I'm gathering.
Right.
Yeah, making sure that it's not just let's not just check the box and kind of do the task. Like let's actually have value. Let's talk through things. Let's make sure that you're forecasting things properly based on what we know to be true. And again, I'm going to go back to the whole organization thing. Properly classifying things and putting them in their right little bucket and actually knowing what kind of money do you have to go play with in the new year.
Right.
I think that's got to. I mean, I was going to say I think that's really valuable. I know that's really valuable. What the heck am I talking? Every fourth quarter, I start looking at that kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, well, what are we going to do next year that is going to advance whatever we're trying to go to? So when it comes to 360 BKS, you had a great 2024. What is on the horizon for you guys in 2025? What are you looking to do? What are you looking to accomplish? And how can we help you get there?
We're getting to accomplish to have more clients that want to have a stronger financial situation. For instance, they come to a lot of clients with us and they have just this mess and they don't have a clue of what they're doing. And we want to have more those type of clients that they want to improve their situation by hearing the experts and receiving the feedback from us. And those type of clients, it is very gratifying for us because we can help them and they can see the results of our work. We're just not doing their books and that's it. It's like we're trying to go beyond with it. And we want to expand by having those type of clients in 2025 so we can be recognized of, hey, 360 BKS, they're just not bookkeepers. They're more of that.
Yeah, even listening to your answer, it seems more like I'm envisioning like how like a professional athlete has like a coach, a strength and conditioning coach. They usually have like a nutritionist. They have someone who does other parts of their life, but the player that's on the field, the business is out in the field every day doing business and doing work and helping people, services and products, but having someone who can be on the sidelines and tell them, hey, so here's what you need to do next, and here's what you just did. Here's what we need to make some changes, and then go back out and go do that again. It's exactly what I can envision.
Yeah.
Does that sound accurate?
That sounds 100% accurate.
I don't know what kind of sports you watch. What kind of sports do you like? Do you like any sports?
I was
like team sports, individual sports.
If I watch a sport, I would watch baseball. That's the only sport that I enjoy watching. I'm not that soccer fan. I'm not that football fan. I'm not that basketball fan. So just baseball, that would be my go-to, I guess.
Team sport, and there's a manager and lots of coaches, hitting coaches, throwing coaches, all sorts of coaches. I was using the term the other day. I was explaining it to a friend of mine who had who didn't know what it meant. I was talking about how in the new year, I want to make less unforced errors. Have you heard that term before?
And reinforced errors?
Unforced errors, yeah. So in tennis, there's something called an unforced error. So let's say you and I are playing tennis and you hit the ball across the net to me and I hit the ball and it goes into the net. That's an unforced error. So I gave you a point because of something I did on my side of the net. And so my analogy to him, I was on this long hike where I got in a fight with a mountain lion, by the way. So I got this cut. I'm here. The mountain lion isn't. Just kidding. It was a wood accident, chopping wood, which I told you. But we're on this hike, and I was talking about how I really need to make less unforced errors in the new year. And he's like, well, what does that mean? And in the business context, I was just saying that, I don't intentionally make errors, but sometimes there's things you do just a little bit wrong enough where it ends up becoming a problem.
Right.
And I was like, I need a lot less of those. Not because there's a ton of them, but it's like even 2 or 3 in a quarter, it's like, oh, I don't need this problem, or I don't need that headache. And I could have done this over here in the timeline so that it didn't result in this right here. And I'm actually seeing a lot of that in what you're describing today is people unintentionally make these unforced errors where something they maybe did wrong and didn't know or could have done right but haven't done. And results in, now we got this problem, or we have to try to avoid there being an even bigger problem down the road.
Yes.
So there's my long way around of saying unforced errors. Let's make less unforced errors in 2025. Sound good?
Yeah, that's sort of right.
Man, there's so many things I want to ask you. Is there anything else more you want to talk about, like 360 BKS, before I move on? Because I want to talk about you a little bit too today.
Well, I think we have covered much everything of 360 BKS, but just to close, having a closing statement that not everyone can have everything doing by themselves. They need to rely with professional people, and sometimes it could be a headache to work with numbers. A lot of people can get overwhelmed, like, oh, I need to do my accounting, I need to do my books. It's like very overwhelming, but it is not that hard if you rely with professional people, because they're going to take this from your plate and you can just focus on your business, and we are here for them so we can help them out.
Awesome. I know you can. I know you do it reliably, and I know you do it with high trust. So, I know that I know you may not want accolades, because I know you don't want to be like forced out in front of everybody, like everyone clap and cheer. But I know from what I've heard and from what everyone who has told me about, the quality of your service is unparalleled. So I think it is worth taking a victory lap now and then, and really getting admired for doing a quality job, because I think on the surface it can be overlooked at, oh, okay, what's accounting? Like, how important can accounting be? Oh, well, go through an IRS audit and then answer back to me, how important is the bookkeeping? Right? That's a big problem.
Yeah.
I know I had a friend a long time ago, had something with the state and had to do with payroll taxes, and it's like, oh, that's going to be a problem. And guess what? It had to go this long, grueling process. And so I just don't want it to be overlooked of how important the work you do is for business and companies, because those businesses rely on their business thriving with your help. And then so do all those employees. All those employees represent themselves and their family and that neighborhood and all the things they're connected to. And so I just really want to commend you for the work you're doing, because I know it's been fantastic, and I've heard it time and time and time again. So I'm next. Okay, I want to talk about you. So I want to ask questions that help me and everyone else understand you a little bit more. I mean, we've seen each other a lot, of course. I see you every single week at the meeting, and we've even done one-to-ones. But like, I don't know a lot about you. And some of these folks I've known a long time. Miguel and I've known you a long time. Eddie and Ray Solano. I'm an old guy. I've been there since 2009, so it's been a minute. Gone and back again, if you will. But I just wanted to ask you, like, what's something that has maybe just really influenced you in your life that you think about often, or that you go back to when you're making big decisions or you're thinking through things? Like, what's something that has really had a major impact in your life in a positive way?
I think the most influential people in my life have been my parents, because they have instructed me in how to be a good human being, and to be kind with people, and to also work hard, because nothing comes easy, nothing comes for free, and try to be a people person also, like try to help the people when they need to, and having all those strong core values, it really helped me to be the man that I have become as of now. And as I've mentioned, I'm not just a bookkeeper. I'm also a person that loves to help other persons, and that's what I'm passionate about. What I do this, because it's not just working about numbers. I'm also helping people with what I do.
Perfect. Okay, so I knew that was going to come out, because there is a lot of care, and that's why I kind of segued into this part, is because I know there's a lot of care in going into that. You're crediting your parents as being really influential for that, but I know you deeply care. What else is driving that?
I think
because you just seem really passionate about it too.
Yes.
Look, I know you can selectively care about things for a certain period of time, but you just seem to like care all the time about everything all the time. Where's that come from?
I think it comes from my own household. When I was a kid, it was like I was always around with so much love and so much care from my parents and from my grandma as well. And I think it's just in my DNA just to care about other people too.
Yeah, so it just was really infused into your growing up and your childhood all the way through.
Yes, and I think it's being always like that. So it's kind of funny when you ask that. I said, where is it coming from? But I think it's because I was involved with this environment with so much love and so much careness that I think it's coming from that.
Yeah, it's like it's just included in the package.
Yeah,
I'm me. It's with me. Here we are. Where did you grow up? Did you grow up around here?
No, I grew up in Tijuana, Mexico.
Oh, okay. Well, that's here.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, we're in North
TJ
TJ right now.
Yeah.
In Chula Vista, man. North TJ. Do people say that down there? They don't say that down there. They don't call this North TJ, do they?
No,
They don't call that
TJ.
South Chula.
Oh.
So
Norteño also can be seen. Could be called as norteño.
so you grew up in TJ until how old?
Until my late 20s.
Late 20s. Okay.
Yes.
So yesterday. All right, got it.
I
get it. You're very young. Okay, I get it.
I'm 30, almost 37. So it's been almost 10 years since I moved here.
Nice
to the
head of hair,
States.
though. Okay, guy. Yeah. 37? No way. You're not 37, are you really?
Yeah, I'm turning 37 next week.
Oh, man, I'm feeling so old these days. Okay, sorry. So you came here and when? At the end of your 20s? 27?
27, yeah.
Okay. And did you come, was it for school? Or was it just because you, no, had you already finished school and all that?
Yeah, I already finished school. I had like 4 years after I graduated the university. I had a job offer here in Carlsbad, and that's how it opened that opportunity for me to come to work here. And later on, I had the opportunity to have my green card. And later on, 4 years ago, I had the opportunity to partner with my partner and have what we have now, 360 BKS.
Nice. Okay, cool. So what was the first job that brought you here, though? You mentioned Carlsbad. Like, so something brought you here. What was that?
Yeah, it was a small company called Visage Pro, and they created skincare products, and also they were the first pioneers of offering products of CBD.
Wow.
Back in the days, in 2016, it was just kind of new, and it was really interesting for me to work in that type of company because it's something that I didn't know about. And it was a really good opportunity for me just to have a different type of work experience, and also to know a lot of good people.
They were doing like skincare, healthcare, or were they doing like medicinal things? What was it they were making?
It was skincare specifically, and they have other type of brand line that it was CBD, and they have a lot of product with CBD,
okay.
like ointments, also a skincare with CBD, energy drinks with CBD, like a lot of good things, and it was really interesting to get to know like that type of product, because it was something new for me. And later on, it would just boom everywhere with the CBD.
Yeah, it's everywhere now. Jeez.
Yeah.
I have a friend, Mark Garza. You know Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking for a hair growth replacement. Does that help? Gotcha, Mark.
We can see what we can do.
The great thing is, though, when I have like Mark on the show, we can tease someone else, and then when I have you on, I can tease Mark, and eventually this is going to turn into other people, and I'm not going to be in the seat. It'll be like you and someone else here, and I'll be over in the corner producing something, and you guys can talk crap about me. Like, Andy is the baldest of all the bald guys. Fine. So CBD. So what's something that was interesting that you learned there? Because I mean, you just like rattle off a bunch of things right now to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow, okay. So there was a lot there. What is something that you learned there? You're like, oh wow, that's pretty neat.
Like all the process of it, like how they extract the CBD of the plant, and they have their own lab in there. So it was kind of cool to go there and to see like the whole process of it.
The manufacturing part was like right
yes,
there too?
Yes.
Oh,
so that was pretty awesome to learn about, like, because I was involved a lot with the accounting and the inventory. So a lot of times I had to go down there to see all the manufacturing products, all the raw materials, and to have everything accounting for it. But also I was invited hey, do you want to learn about the process of CBD? Like, hey, why not? It's something real new.
Do you have to like suit up and like wear like a hairnet and the mask? Like, was it like that kind of laboratory, or was it like you can just walk down like the way you're dressed now?
Yeah, I mean, you just can use like a lab coat.
I don't know.
A lab coat and just the
like safety goggles.
Yeah, and that nothing beyond of it.
So it would be too far if I labeled this episode, I used to sling drugs. I can't say that right now. That we can't put that as the title. We'll have to come up with something else as our cool title, Aaron. So you got to be involved in the process and kind of get to see it firsthand, and that was fascinating.
And also to learn about all the benefits of CBD, because it can help a lot. It's an anti-inflammatory,
yeah.
And it can help with a lot of diseases such cancer and people that have a lot of pain. And it was really interesting. Hey, there's something else before besides of the traditional medicine. It's other alternatives that people have tried out, and in firsthand, I've seen other people that have tried out and they seen the results of it, and it's pretty cool just to get to know a lot of new things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know who's an expert at CBD, right?
I don't want to point any fingers, so I'll
Will
just wait.
Schussel.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Long sip. Will is an expert in that. I think he brings decades of experience into that. So we could probably sit around here and have a long conversation with.
Right.
I got to remember the snacks. How long were you there?
I was there for a year and a half. So it was as a short term. The company, it transitioned to a different model because it was bought by a different investors. So they did like this whole restructuring of the company, and later on I found another opportunity that led me to accounting. It was a different industry, but it was healthcare actually, but it was not CBD at all.
So what was the most enjoyable part of kind of that experience? And I mean, was it the things you're telling me already? It was like, got to be firsthand to it, got to learn all about it. Was there anything else that was like really just stood out you were impressed by? Like the vision of the owners, because how they established the business. One of the partners, he is from Switzerland, and he is the one that brought the idea of CBD. And they were bringing a lot of things into the plate of how to manage things differently. And it was pretty impressive how people from different backgrounds and different other countries can put a lot together and grow a business. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Is he from Switzerland?
Yeah, from Switzerland.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty neat. Okay, so I want to ask you about like what you do in your free time. Like, where do you spend your time? What do you do? What are you interested in? What are some of your hobbies? Talk about that.
Yes. So once I'm out of the office, I like to work out. I've been doing exercise at the gym for the past 14 years. So that's the time that it's just my time for me to liberate all the stress and not to think about work and just to focus on me and to have more less a stressful life and try to enjoy the moment. And I really enjoy having all these endorphins coming out. So it's one of the things that I enjoy the most doing. Also, I have 3 dogs at home.
So I was going to say, I hope you bring up the dog thing. So you have 3 dogs.
I have 3 dogs. I have 2 labs. I have 1 pit bull. It's a pit bull mixed lab, and they're very amazing dogs. They're very loyal. They're very loving dogs. They just want to be around you and just to play with them, and they're pretty funny. Each one of them has their own different behavior and personality.
Yeah,
but I love them equally.
I remember you were sharing me I remember you sharing with me when we did our first one-to-one, you showed pictures of your dogs. And you said one of them is a lot older than the others, right?
Yes, the yellow one.
Yeah, okay. Is that the sheriff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the alpha.
The alpha, yeah, the alpha. And those both seem very therapeutic. Like they're just calming and relaxing. They kind of like recenter, kind of balance, and just kind of keep some evenness to all the, maybe stress that's going to be going on when you're doing people's books and all that.
Yeah, and they're really energetic, but their energy is...
Well, you are too. You got really good energy.
Thanks. And they also very demanding. I mean, they want to just play and play and play.
Yeah.
But they just transmit you that good energy and it just relaxes you, as you were saying. It calms you a lot. And they just make my day. They are the most amazing dogs that I have had.
That's so cool. That is really cool. I love that. I love my dogs too, and they're fun to be around. And my bigger dog of the 2, she's like a working dog, but we don't have a working place. I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to find a place where I can have her run all day long and just herd sheep or something. Yeah, man, she just wants to play, but she's like, "Oh, you're home. Oh, you're home. Let's go somewhere." I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so tired." But her energy is like off the charts, but I also love it. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not mad at it. I say I'm mad at it. I'm not. I freaking love it. Where's the place you want to go that you haven't been yet? David Greep, listen. David Greep, pay attention right now. Aaron's going to tell you where he wants to go next.
I like to travel. That's one of the hobbies that I also enjoy the most. When I have my free time, I like to go to different countries. And the place that I would like to go, it's Poland. Poland is one of the countries that I would like to get to know more. A lot of history in there, World War II history, and also the Nordic countries like Finland, Norway, to see the
The Northern Lights, yeah.
Yeah, the Northern Lights. Mm-hmm. And with that, it would be such amazing experience to go there and just to watch it by myself. I just watching it with pictures and videos, and it would be a very amazing trip to go.
That sounds like one of those where you can't just go for like a week. Like you need to carve out like 2 or 3 weeks, take your time, go to the places, see all the stuff, like be absolutely like no rush.
Yeah.
You know, I know someone who might be able to help you budget for that.
I think you have the guy.
Actually, I bet your budget's pretty tight, isn't it? Your budget's like on lock, like airtight. You know where every single penny is. I bet that's true. Do you have a penny jar at home, like a jar with change? I bet you do. You do?
I do have one.
How do you keep account for that? I was like kind of half joking that I thought you might have a jar, and I was like, oh, now we're here. We're at the joke. So you do have a coin jar?
It's a piggy.
I love it. Do you have like a Post-it on it? You're like, I just added 76 cents. Running total.
I have my own spreadsheet. Like, yeah, now I'm counting this penny now.
Does your piggy bank have a name?
No, not yet.
Oh, it's not called like Mr. Savers or something? I don't know what I'm just coming up with dumb names. You know what? Mark Johnson can make up a fake fun name. He's bad. He's got bad dad jokes. We'll have him make one. A piggy bank name for you. I don't know.
We'll ask him.
You think he could do it?
I think so.
You think? I believe in Mark too. We should ask him to make a name for your piggy bank. So you do have a piggy bank. Well, that's cool. Well, of course, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't act surprised because, duh, you deal in money all the time in accounting. Of course, he's got a piggy bank and a savings jar. Yeah. Okay. So 2 to 3 week trip. David Greep. We're gonna go ahead and get that all proposed out and get that quoted for. For 2026, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe 25.
No, 25.
25 too soon.
Probably.
Into 2025 during your slow season, not slow season anymore. Yeah. Quarter 4 apparently is not slow for you no more. You're all busy now, which is cool. Well, that's fun. I mean, so what made you interested in like that Nordic culture to begin with?
Watching a lot of Christmas movies. Like I know
really?
That the North Pole it's there. It's in Norway. So I love watching Christmas movies and just having the opportunity of being at that wonderful place and with all the snow and visiting Santa Claus house.
Yeah. You know, have you ever seen I've seen this before. It's called the Ice Hotel. Have you seen that before?
The Ice Hotel.
The Ice Hotel. It's like it's made of ice, and like the rooms
in Canada.
I don't know. I don't know where it's at. Again, David. Hey, David, help us out. I saw this show. And it's about this ice hotel, and watching it on like TV, I'm like, that looks really interesting. I think I'd like to go to that place.
Yeah.
And then I think about it a little longer. I'm like, I don't know that I'd want to stay there for that long. Everyone, because you have to wear like multiple layers of coats, and you wear a parka to bed, and I'm like, I don't know that. I think I might want to do that. It seems interesting to say. It's novel. It'd be cool to go do. But I don't know. Would you do something like that?
It's interesting that you brought it up because when I was 20 years old, I went to Canada and I visited that hotel.
So you do?
That Ice Hotel.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I thought that you were talking about a movie, so that was why I was asking.
Oh, yeah. No, I just saw it on like some show once, like a documentary or whatever.
And it's in, I don't recall the name of the city, but it's in the East Canada. And we were taking a tour and they brought us to that place, and it was pretty interesting and very amazing just to like how do people would imagine to have this kind of resort,
right?
It's like, and there are people they actually stay there and like for me, I mean, I'm not that winter guy, so I wouldn't enjoy in staying myself in there for just even one night.
It kind of seems a little cold, right?
Yeah, a lot of. I mean, because you have to wear like this thick jacket and your hat and to cover your ears, and it's just crazy cold.
What does look awesome is like the bar where they have like the ice. Everything's cold.
Yeah.
All the drink. Like, oh, we're gonna pour the drink down this thing. It goes down this whatever. And it's like cooling and chilling its way down to the glass. And like, here you go, sir. And like, wow, that looks amazing.
And when I went to Canada, I was 20 years old. So in Canada, you were old enough to drink at the age of 18.
Now hold on. Hey now. Same to Mexico, right?
Same in Mexico, yes. So, and we were at the bar of the hotel, and they were serving tequila with those covered iced glasses.
No.
So, yeah, and I had my first shot as a foreigner in Canada, having with that type of glass. It's pretty cool.
Okay, see, this is the kind of thing that happens where, like, again, I never know what's going to happen in these conversations.
No.
I didn't know we were going to talk about the Ice Hotel and you having your first foreign shot ever at that place. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love this. So, stuff like this keeps coming up every time I do a conversation with someone in our group, and something just comes up. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, how did we get here? It's so fascinating because this never came up in our previous conversations.
No, it's pretty funny that you brought it up randomly.
You said we kind of jumped from Poland and then Poland to like other Nordic countries, and I'm coming back to the whole what's driving the Nordic thing, and then the Ice Hotel. Like, dude, I love that. That's awesome. So I think I do want to go. I think here's my problem. I don't think I can convince Jen to go with me. Jen she's cold all the time, so I don't think I can convince her to go to the Ice Hotel. Yeah. The reason that here's something interesting about my life. I go home, and if I walk in the house and I just take a quick glance at what are all the ladies wearing, I'm like, oh, this place is hot right now. If there's tank tops and they're wearing shorts, I'm like, oh, this house is 78 degrees inside, and I'm burning up. If they're wearing jackets, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. They're freezing cold, and it's gonna be nice and temperate for old Andy here. I guess I run hot. Not just hot-tempered, everybody. Hot temperature-wise too. So let's talk about. I want to ask you like what inspires you, because I know you really care a lot. We've talked about that. I know you have a lot of fun. You have a lot of energy, and you really pour yourself into everything you do. But what inspires you? Like if you were to just like talk to an audience of people and say, this is what really inspires me, what would that be? What would you credit to inspiring you?
I think the person that inspires me a lot to become a better person, and who I've become a lot for the professional that I'm today, and also the man that I'm today, it's my partner / spouse. Because when I started my business with my partner, when we co-partnered, it started first as a friendship and also as a partnership, and I was so afraid to do things by myself, like to get out of my comfort zone and to have my own business, because I had this experience working in accounting firms in the corporate level. And I was at that point that I got laid off from my previous job before establishing 360 BKS with my partner. And he just inspired me. Hey, you have like the tools, you have the knowledge, you have the experience, you have everything that you can do by your own. And what are you afraid of? It's like, wow. You have to just to take that mind off of your head and just to do it. And having him by my side and to guide me in order to do what I'm actually doing, it was very inspirational for me, just to get out of my comfort zone and do what I like, but independently.
So it's interesting that you say get out of your comfort zone, because that comment followed all these things that he was saying you're really good at. So what was the disconnect between knowing you're good at those things and it being uncomfortable?
I think it's the afraid of the unknown. It's like,
oh yeah, okay, like, I get that.
It's like you have this system of working, having a schedule, and having a salary, and when you have like that mindset and try to change that, something is really hard and hard to, and it could be struggling for a lot of people.
Like a shock to your system, kind of.
Yes, it's like, oh no, this is not how my mind works. It's like how
I'm unsafe.
Right. So, unfortunately, back at that time, I was having a very dark path. I was passing through a very dark path. Like I was having, I didn't have no job. I didn't have no income. Back that time, I was a caregiver for a very close person to me that had cancer, and I was a key person for him in being a caregiver. So that drained me a lot of my energy and a lot of my attention, and I lost myself a lot. So I was in a very bad path.
Oh wow!
But fortunately, I mean, sometimes you have to go that path in order to realize yourself and to learn new things, and that helped me a lot to just get out of it. It's like, no, I don't want this for me. I don't want this for my life, and I just turn around the wheel of my life and into a better place. And grateful. I'm very grateful for all these people that showed up during that time, because they helped me to lift me up, and also to change my mindset of, hey, even though that you're having a bad day, even though you're having a really bad time, something good can come out of it. And it came a lot of good things afterward, and that changed dramatically my life and the way that I see things now, and the way that I behave now is like, I try to be that link with my past, or not link with all this bad thing that happened. It's like, okay, shit happens, and it's like, you have to, it doesn't matter how many times you fall, is how many times you get back up.
Woo-hoo! Hey, mic drop. Aaron, what? Right now? Come on, man. You didn't come in here ready to talk about all that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so, man, there's a lot there. I cannot restate and will not try to restate anything you just said more profoundly. I wanted to ask you, though, like, were you aware of how your state of being was in the middle of it? Like, what made you, like, you're saying it to me now on the other side of this thing.
Yeah.
But what made you did you know how bad off you were in the time you're referencing is I was really bad off?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you
were self-aware of it.
I was not aware of it. You
were not aware of it?
No, back at that time, I was not aware of it. It was like, I was in a depression state of mind, and so disconnected from reality, just like trying to, when you go through that path, just you try to find the reason of it, or try to blame to something or to someone, like, why did this happen to me? And so I was so blind back at that time, like what's going on. But then it suddenly lifted me, like, hey, I don't want to be like this anymore. I don't want to like not to take care of myself. I don't want to just be indifferent with other people. I don't want to be just be focusing on my depression or my anxiety. I want to become that better person. And that's when Gustavo came in and showed up into my life, and he showed me and changed my perspective of things of life. And just say, hey, I think I can get my life back in track. I think I could do things differently. And that's when I talk about the comfort zone. It's like, oh, something's really comfortable just to stay there. But when you realize, like, hey, this is not working for me. It's giving me very bad results. I have to change the path of my life. Back then, I was 30 to 32 years old, so I was in my early 30s. I was still in the good phase of shifting things around and do good things for me.
Wow, that is profound. That is amazing. I'm so glad that you're talking about that. I don't think I had shared with you. I had a similar season in my life too. And one of the people there was multiple people there for me. One of the people there for me was Miguel Contreras.
Wow.
So in 2017, I was hospitalized for 2 weeks. I don't think I've ever told you this. Did I tell you this?
No.
So some people in the chapter know this, but I was in BNI at the time, and I had a business called 9010 Brand, and it was a branding agency. We did apparel, and we had lots of cool stuff. I was hospitalized for 2 weeks and almost lost my leg. At one point, they were telling my wife, like, hey, we're going to try to save your husband, and then if we can save him, we're going to try to save his leg, and then we'll talk about him walking later. Like, what?
Wow.
And out of that, there's a lot of those things that happened at the business and the company at the time that I was separate from it, that I just couldn't do. And there's a lot of lessons I could teach a whole class on about the things I learned out of that falling apart. But that whole thing fell apart at the end of 17. Jason Turner helped me file bankruptcy for that in 2018 and restart. And at the same time, Miguel was there like, hey, Andy, I need help with these things at my company and at my office. How about I have you come and help me with those things? And he reached out his hand to help lift me up when I was in the dumps, man. Like I had days where I couldn't get out of bed. I was taking antidepressant medication for a while because I was having anxiety. Like I was doing things that I did not feel in control of. It was wild. And I've shared this privately to many people now, but I remember this one time, like I had learned that one of my vendors had basically stolen $10,000 of my client's goods and taken it to a shop down in TJ that they owed money to and a favor to. And I was like, I got to leave. I went out of the house. I went on a walk. And all I remember now is I was punching the mailbox, like the neighborhood mailbox with all the doors on it. And I'm like punching this thing and I'm like a robot, but it was like I saw myself up here looking at myself going, why are you doing that? Like completely out of control of like the way I was. It was scary because I did not know why I didn't know why I was doing that. I couldn't stop myself from doing that. I came home, my hands were all messed up. My wife's like, what happened? Like, what is going on? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I was just like walking. All of a sudden I started punching the mailbox. She's like, okay, we got to figure this out. And man, the depths are deep. And Miguel was there to help me. Jason was there to help me. My cousins that are here at this office, they were there to help me. My wife and my family and my friends, they were all there to help me too. I remember, well, there's a number of people at the time who, would check in on me and see how I'm doing, and members in our chapter, Ramses and Jim Lowther and Mark Johnson, and even people I'm probably not mentioning now. I mean, Eddie had to help me close the business. Like I had to have Eddie completely dissolved. So when Eddie talks about people starting or closing a business, I'm like, oh yeah, I had to close the business. Eddie helped me with that too. That'll be my testimonial someday. I lost everything. I lost absolutely everything. And I didn't even have a sense of self. It was crazy. And so I get that. And being able to be on the other side of that and look back and talk from a place of, I'll say like from a place of like overcoming is awesome. It feels great. But man, those are so perfect. It happened around the same time you're referencing too. Because you're talking about like 5 to 7 years ago, kind of in that like window.
2019, 2020. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like middle end of 18 into 19. Yeah. So I mean, I totally get that. I didn't know we would meet each other in that place, but right. I'm very glad we got to talk about that a little bit today too.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
But it is. I know. Even in some of these conversations I've had leading up to ours today, there have been moments in time where maybe they weren't described to me that way, but everyone kind of alludes to this thing that might have happened in their life, or they had a turning point or a pivot or an epiphany or a major life event that kind of like was a catalyst for something brand new to change or go in a different direction. It's been fascinating to learn that and hear that. And thank you for sharing that with me today too, and with all of us actually. Yes. That's awesome. I'm so glad to have to know you now and to meet you outside of that, and then be able to speak from a place of to speak about it from a place of compassion and understanding, and also having overcome. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Good for you. And I'm so glad to see how. And I get it now. Like I get why all this stuff I see in you and see about you and watch you do and hear about, it all makes sense. It all like just kind of like jigsaw puzzle, it all just came together, man. That's amazing. Good for you. Really proud of you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I want to honor your time though, because we're a couple minutes over. Can I ask you my last 2 questions?
Sure.
Okay. I'll kind of like rapid fire them. You talk as much as you want about them. The first thing is, we're in a stadium of 100,000 people, and I hand you the microphone, and you get to thank somebody. Who are you thanking, and what would you say?
I would say...
I know there's lots of people you'd thank, and I just spilled coffee all over myself trying to stop myself. I know there's probably lots of people. It's okay. No one will be upset if you don't mention them all. Who's one person just in this medium you'd want to say thanks to?
I would say my husband, because he's being the key person for the person that I am actually right now. And I was how I was telling you before, he uplifted me from that dark place that I was being at. and that just changed my entire perspective of life. Also, my parents, who were very fundamental during my growing up in my teenage phase and the first years of my adulthood. But now I thank Gustavo because he's been very loyal to me. He's been very loving. He's been very caring. Because at the beginning, even though it just started as a friendship and as a partnership, he just showed me his heart and the type of person that he actually is. And I just want to thank him for everything that he has been done for me, and that he is the person that he's always with me. He's next to my side in my business and my personal life too.
Everything.
Yes,
that's awesome. And then the last one is dead or alive. Who would you like to have and share a meal with?
Oof.
Again, everyone's like, "Oh, I got so many people." It's okay. Just pick one. It's okay. There's no wrong answer.
I think I would say Steve Jobs. I think he has
wow. No one said that yet. Okay, great. Tell me why.
Because he has such an amazing story, like how he started his business in his garage, and how he had this vision of creating this user-friendly computers, and how it gained so much market, and then he got kicked out of his own business.
I know.
And later on, it's like, okay, he never gave up. It's like he had that vision of, okay, I want to be in the IT environment, and it was by success and failure. But after he established Pixar, and that he gained recognition, and he took back the business that he established and he was kicked from. It's really, really amazing how his perseverance and resilience came to the results and the legacy that he built.
He was like this like ruthless creative.
Right.
It's like this visionary, ruthless, creative person, and it just left such a impact and legacy. Like, I mean, it's a product legacy, but there's a story behind that, like you're saying. And I know most people probably have known that he was actually booted by his board and then hired back.
Yeah.
I know most people probably know that. You know what? I just remembered. I have a copy of his biography, and I haven't read it. It's on my bookshelf. It's like, the one with the white cover and the black and white photo of him.
Yeah, I remember.
I have that, and I haven't read that. So now I need to add that. You know what? I'm going to read that during the Christmas break. The Christmas break. I'm going to do that. All right. Now, new task for me from having a conversation. Now I got a book to read. Dang it. I did it to myself. And I know you'll keep me to account. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to talk about or that I should have asked you?
I think we talked a lot of good things.
This was great.
Yeah, it was a really good conversation. It was great to talk about what I do, and also who Aaron is. He's not only a bookkeeper. There's a story behind it. So it was a really amazing time just to share my story and to talk about these points with you.
I'm really glad you're here, Aaron. More than a calculator, Parada. My new personal nickname for you, Aaron. More than a calculator, Parada. How about that? Is that okay?
I'm good, man.
If you don't like that one, just suggest a new one, and we'll go with that. Okay. And we still need a name for your piggy bank. I'm going with Mr. Piggy Bank right now. We'll come up with something better. This has been so awesome. Thank you so much for taking time to come and do this with me. This has been so gratifying for me as a chapter member with you and with everyone else to just learn so much more and have a different context and flavor to our conversation. So thank you for bringing great energy today. Thank you for being focused and also just sharing so honestly and vulnerably. That was really awesome. I'm so grateful. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for this time.
And any of you who are watching this and you'd like to come and network with Aaron and myself, we are down at the Chula Vista Golf Course every Wednesday morning, 6:45 a.m. for open networking, 7 a.m. for the meetings to start. That's at 4475 Bonita Road. That's right. It's the Chula Vista Golf Course in Bonita, 4475 Bonita Road. You can click in the description box to get Aaron's contact information and also to register to visit an upcoming meeting. It is that time of season where, we meet on Wednesdays. There's a couple Wednesdays this month where we got Christmas is a Wednesday, New Year's Day is a Wednesday. We're not going to be open those days, okay? Any other day you want to come and visit us on a Wednesday, click in the description box below to register as a visitor, and we'll see you at an upcoming meeting. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you with another awesome guest next week. Bye.